we're hearing a lot about this right now during, after New Year's and people having these so-called New Year's resolutions, but they're not really resolutions, about business, what's happening in the business world, the recruiting world, companies trying to pay subpar value for grade A recruits.
Yep.
And they're not realizing that subpar price that they're willing to pay, or that they're only willing to pay, is the reason why their production is suffering already at the beginning of the year, or why it even ended the way it did at the end of last year, because they don't realize that the investment they make in getting the proper players into their companies is actually going to make them the money back tenfold. And so I know you just experienced this today or yesterday.
Yep.
So tell us what's going on in the recruiting world right now.
Well, there's an influx of opportunity and not enough candidates, but what's happening is the companies let me start from the beginning. The most valuable part of a company is an employee. That's the number one asset. Not the CEO, not HR.
Not the customers.
Not the customers. It's your employees.
And I'm just going to interrupt on that that is Richard Branson's philosophy of business. And if you guys don't know who that is, that's the owner, founder, CEO of Virgin Airlines. And his whole business philosophy is your employees come first. Take care of your employees, everything else falls into place. Because if you take care of your employees, everything else, customer revenue, customer acquisition, everything is taken care of because your people feel like they're being taken care of. And here's the thing. Take care of them enough, train them well enough, like as if they could leave. But why would they leave?
Why would they? And here's what's happening right now. This year startup, there's 329,000 recruiter jobs. There's a reason for that. Okay. There's so many opportunities in the technology space in corporate America for people. But what the employers haven't done is adjusted their game to attract top talent. Now, what do I mean by that? We're still paying 3-year, 4-year-old salaries that are outdated, trying to get top value players.
Subpar value.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, they're not paying the recruiters anymore. I'm seeing rates for recruiters that were paying in 2000, in 2005. I've had companies come to me and say, hey, you want to make 40, 50, 60 bucks an hour? It's like, no, I was making that 15 years ago. So right now, what has to happen is there's a couple things. Number one, the companies have to realize that they're not in charge. It's not their world. It's the candidate world. It's the employee world. People can decide where they want to go. And I've seen posts on LinkedIn where the client's like, I interviewed this candidate, asked them why they wanted to work here, blah, blah, blah. They act like they're in control and they're not. It's not their decision. There's nothing special about scooterflags.com. It's not even a company that exists, but here's my point. Well, people want to feel valued. You're trying to tell a candidate, why should I hire you? You have no choice. They have 4 or 5 other offers.
Exactly, because what you just said is people have more options now than companies have options. And because there's one huge thing. Whatever happened in people's minds during this pandemic, there's good and bad. One major pro is that people learned that they have so many options if they just become more valuable, that they can work remotely and that they're in control, or they can go into business for themselves.
We're wanting to hire 27 people, 30 people, 40 people, okay? And you're trying to find top talent to help hire those individuals, but there's some breakdowns on how companies work. Right now, you need to let recruiters be recruiters and stay out of their way. The number one failure of a company is the leadership getting in the way of hiring. I've seen it happen over and over. I've seen delays in offer letters because too many C-level people have to sign off on it. I've seen people not wanting to pay enough money for the right person. And I got to tell you, like I told the client today, there's 4 other offers this candidate's getting, and you're trying to debate why you need to pay an extra $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a year for the candidate. And the problem is you're going to lose. And now 6 months, 8 months, 9 months out, you have your board of directors yelling at you as to why your product isn't released, and it's because you didn't hire the person. And it's because you stalemated, you stalled. You were sitting on your hands debating on why you should pay that extra $5,000 a month. So right now I'm seeing this influx of top talent going anywhere they want, choosing where they want to go, but companies not understanding. And companies now need to raise the bar and meet them at their level, right? You know what I'm saying? And a perfect example is like, let's go out here in the retail food chain. All these McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, they're all looking for jobs, right? or they're looking for people to hire for jobs. Nobody's working.
Go ahead.
That's like the tech space.
Well, here's what I was going to say earlier too. So it's not only do people have, not only people that actually want to work hard have many options, but then also what this, pandemic, COVID, whatever you want to call it, did, it also created a lot of lazy people as well, where people don't want to work anymore. People just want to clock in, clock out, and that's it. Or not even that anymore. They want to try to expect a free check because like my mentor and I, we just went to Aspen, and the Whole Foods in Aspen is paying anyone that wants to work full time $1,000 bonus just for signing up to become an employee at Whole Foods. If you not only do you still get all their benefits and everything, but you come work for Whole Foods, we're going to put $1,000 into your pocket. Part time, we'll give you $500. Like that's where our world is right now. There's no middle ground anymore, and that's why where you're at, where these companies don't understand is people now have options, because the ones that have options are willing to fucking work hard, and they know that they're worth something.
Right.
And then the ones where they're trying to pay subpar value, these guys just want to be lazy. They don't want to work hard. They've been getting paid the last couple of years through the stimulus check. And, so many people quit their jobs because the stimulus check was better. And it just created this, a lack of sense of urgency.
There's more too. I agree with that, but go back to corporate America. I just saw this article. It said 20% of the companies right now are hiring remote workers only. That's not the tech space. It's like 90%. So let me give you an example. ABC companies hiring a software engineer. They need to be on site. I'm going to pay 4-month-old market value for the employee. You're not going to hire anybody. Nobody needs to go there. They can go anywhere they want.
Or someone who's not good.
Or not good. Right. So you want to, and that's the other thing, right? Everybody wants the Michael Jordan, and they want to pay a bench warmer that didn't, or a person that didn't make the cut of the.
They want to pay $100,000 for Michael Jordan.
Right. So a senior level software engineer right now is between $175,000 and $190,000 a year. Period. Done deal. You don't like it, you're going to be sitting on your hands. And so HR needs to get out of the way. Executives need to get out of the way. Let recruiters recruit. And the other thing that's messing up corporate America in the tech space and recruiting is recruiters should not report to HR. HR is not recruiting. They get in the way of themselves. They need to report right to the C-level. HR is not recruiting. They don't understand recruiting. They're human resources. There's a different function for that.
Right.
So I'm seeing all these blocks.
They're to make sure something doesn't go wrong inside the company.
The legal issues, work with legal, employee benefits, et cetera, not hiring. So here's how it works. The CEO, CTO says, HR, get the salary bands for these positions. So what do? They go out on salary.com. Did you talk to your recruiters? You don't even know what, this rate's $30K too low. Well, it said over here, did you talk to people that actually do the work? No. And then here's the next problem that they do. HR says, okay, here's all the positions. John needs the metrics for recruiting. And then they go to John and show him, and then John goes back to HR, and then HR goes back to recruiting. You got to treat recruiting like the most important role in the company, period. So moving forward, right now, Johnny that's 3 years out of college is making $150,000, $60,000, $75,000 a year. And if you don't pay him, Apple will pay him. Amazon will pay him. Microsoft will pay him. Scooterflags.com will pay him. Nobody cares about your NFT crypto company. It's great, but why should somebody work there? Why should he? He can go anywhere he wants, or she can go anywhere he wants. So I think right now, corporate America executives need to get their head out of their butt and come to realization that it's not your world anymore. You don't make the decisions. You have to roll with the punches. And I want you to talk more about, we talked about this off mic. We talked about outside about people staying home, leaving their jobs. Was it 4.5 million in the month of December, November, quit their jobs?
Yeah, I remember.
They're not going back to work. You talked about that a little bit. I want you to kind of focus in on that as the why. You mentioned it earlier, but the stimulus check, but people are I feel are going, I'd rather work for myself now. Do you feel that trend coming?
Yeah, well, because here's the thing, because that's the pro that came out of the pandemic, where people started to realize, I don't have to have a job. I don't have to work for someone else. I don't have to work for someone that sticks a finger in my fucking face and tells me what to do, when to do it, how to do it. I don't have someone that I have to report to. I have enough skill, or I have enough resources to go learn the skills I need to work for myself. And I'm willing to go work 60 to 80 hours a week for myself. and no one's going to be telling me what to do. I'm going to struggle in the beginning. Life's going to kick me in the ass. I might get buried. I might go in debt, but I'm still working for myself. So I'm putting sweat equity into it, where after a couple of years, I know that it's going to put me on top and I'll be making more than whatever company I go to work for. And that's the pro that came out of the pandemic. It gave people the opportunity and ability and the capacity to understand that I have resources to go learn and be in business for myself, and maybe even go into business with friends, and we can all do it remote. We don't have to have an office. Hey guys, thanks for watching the channel. If you like what you saw today, find value in what you saw, please share with your friends and family.
And make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and in the comment section below, let us know which topics you would like us to cover in the future.